49 faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49 in mine.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49 in mine. It's 49 in mine.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49 in mine.
Yeah. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49 in mine.
We from the Bay.
49 in mine.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49 in mine.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49 in mine.
Ooh, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man. #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future. Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
Ooh, yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm really excited to be on here tonight. Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans, where we ask the hard questions, as in how many touchdown celebrations does Deebo Samuel have? All right, guys, I'm really excited about today's show because I haven't been on here for a long time. I had a long break due to some serious family issues I was dealing with, but thanks for everybody and their prayers and everything I was dealing with. Things are back to normal, you could say, which is great. I'm happy about that. Happy to be back on here with all my friends who watch the show all the time. Got friends, family, just sometimes it's random people that I don't even know who watches. My Niner Empire family. Just want to say what's up to some people in here who have been waiting a long time to be back on here. We have Amin the Dream, fellow YouTuber, says Bashar is back. Hey, great to have you back on. We got Bigfoot's mom. He says Bashar is back on live. We have 49er Chanel. What's up, dog? How you doing? We have Amin the Dream again. Poppy Pablo says, what's up, Bashar? Go Niners. How's it going, man? We got Adam Figueroa, the Jimmy G disciple. Says, what's up? And for those of you guys who don't know, I got a very special guest who I've been really excited to bring on this show. He used to go by the name of Heat. He's a San Francisco rapper, huge 49er fan. This guy has got tons of 49er stories like you won't believe. And he loves the 49ers just like we all do. And if you guys are unfamiliar with who he is, I'm going to have to play one of his songs really, really quick. Just a little part of one of his songs. It's called Still Faithful. And before I do that, I want to say what's up to David McNew. How you doing, man? Good to have you on. So let's go on to this song by Dave Canal. Used to be known as Heat. San Francisco Bay Area rapper, huge 49er fan. And this is his jam right here, Still Faithful. Let's do it.
Faithful, you know we still faithful. I'ma put it all on the table. We forever faithful. Yeah, we was on our road to our third Super Bowl in a row on the double. When Roger Craig fumbled. And it was hard to take the heat, watching Bill tell Joe to take a seat. In them 87 playoffs after the Vikings pulled off the upset. Our loyalty was never suspect, we still faithful. We can't appreciate the glory without the pain and hardship to help create the story. Truth be told, I was disgusted, like an uppercut to the stomach. After Kyle Williams muffed it, almost 10 years, still tough to discuss it. Hella throws in the road when Frank should have tucked it. Sat through our rivals, eating turkey on the 50-yard line. Head high, you ain't stealing our shine. We've been through some hard times. Everything that glitters ain't gold. 2016, lost 13 in a row. Never wavered our allegiance. Couldn't stop believing in my heart skip when Steve got rocked by a knee. It's not a gang since a fetus. Definition of die hard. We love Milwaukee. We miss Dwight Clark. Can't nobody break us down. We was faithful then, still faithful now. Said we was faithful then, still faithful now. Del G, Dave Canal, bro, we gotta keep the faith. Stand strong through the triumph of pain. Loyalty for my team still the same. Pumping red and gold blood in our veins, and that'll never change. That's why we still faithful. Yeah, we still faithful. You know we.
And what do you know? He's right here. I'm so pumped up after hearing that song. You have no idea. Just thinking about the lyrics, seeing those highlights, all the memories, some of those games I was at. And I'm so pumped up to have you on, bro. Dave Canal, 49er Empire rapper. How you doing, brother?
Man, it's a blessing to be here, B. Thank you for having me on, bro. Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, man. I had the pleasure of meeting you at that Carolina's Panther game where we stomped on the Carolina Panthers over at Levi's. Was over at the tailgate. You performed at the tailgate. What stood out, I remember you did that song for 49er Germany because there was a huge presence of the Germany, the German 49er Empire there. There's like 10 or 15 of those dudes there, and you straight up had a song for them and everything.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my dude Mike and my other homies out there, man, all out there. And like I said, in Europe, brother, the empire is strong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how you know, like I said, I mean, I'll start off by saying I'm from Frisco. I'm born and raised in San Francisco, California. And, you know, it was easy. I'm 37 years old. So, like, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And, like, it was easy to be a Niner fan. Like, and, you know, we went through some dark times. But it wasn't until I started doing this music that I realized, like, how vast this empire is, man. It's crazy. And, like, it kind of hit me real hard. And it was inspiring for me because that's kind of what pushed me to do a lot of the music I've been doing. Because I just see how strong this fan base is. And like, I refuse to be in discussions with fans from other teams and, you know, have anybody say that we fair weather or have anybody say that like that we ain't strong. Like, you know, when you mentioned the fan bases like, you know, the Packers and, you know, the Cowboys and the Raiders, like the Steelers, the Eagles, you got to throw us in there. The Bears, like, you can't have those conversations without talking about the Niner Empire. Like, and, you know, we show up regardless. So,
well, just think about it this way. You could talk about fans who show up to the game, but also talk about how many 49er rap songs have been put out by you and various other rappers.
Yeah.
Even here on YouTube, how many 49er YouTube content creators there are. I can go on here and name every single one of them for the next 4 hours.
Right.
So,
and you know what? What's crazy is like, I look at it like this, like all these other, like I kind of look at it like this, like me and all the other people that do the music, we play the same position. Like we on a team, we all play the same position. It's like we're all wideouts. Like we all do the same job. It's funny because when you take our core and you measure us against other teams, they're trash. Like I mean, like on everything, I've listened to like some other like teams anthems and like they just don't have the same consistency as ours. And like that sounds biased, but like on some real, like I've listened to a few, and to be honest, like the Niner anthems they're just better music on some real, like, and that goes for everybody across the board. I won't name names yet, but like just across the board, like we tend to do that very well.
And we also got like guys who are well established in the industry, like E40 putting out 40 and 49er songs too, you know. Yeah, so I know French Montana did a 49er song once too. So hey man, we're well represented without a doubt.
Right.
Let me just say what's up to a couple of people, really special people that are good buddies of mine, really quick that are in here. We got George Bailey says great song.
Thank you.
We got a lot of people enjoying your music in the crowd, man. He says 49ers should have done Dave's song as they enter the field. Hey, that would have been nice, man.
Man, I've been trying to make that happen for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we never know. One day it could happen. Garin Bagdasarian's good buddy of mine says, been rocking Dave's heat for 10 plus years now.
Wow.
What's up, Kenny? We got Kenny over in Oregon. What's up, man? Says, yo, what up, Niner fan? Corey Davis said, yo, what's up? The name of the song, I put it right there for you. Still Faithful. For those of you guys who don't follow Dave Canal on social media, I did put the link to his Twitter and his YouTube in the item description of this YouTube show. So without a doubt, check it out if you have the time, if you're not already following him on social media. And if you don't know who he is, didn't know him by name, I'm sure once you heard the songs, and people obviously, they have a great idea who he is. But as far as being a Niner fan, I mean, obviously you're from San Francisco, but do you remember what exactly shaped you and made you a 49er fan, or who influenced you, or how it all began?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I was born and wrapped in a Niner blanket as soon as I popped out. Like, I mean, my pops was a Niner fan. My pops is from Nicaragua, man. He migrated here when he was a baby, but you know, he grew up in the city, and it's just something that like it's a birthright. It was a rite of passage, like, you know, and it's not something I take for granted today. Now that I've got to meet fans from literally across the world, right? And so, but I guess, like I said, it was easy. I mean, I said I was born in 1984. I was born into a Super Bowl victory, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and we beat the Dolphins, and I remember being 3-4 years old and watching us win back to back. You know what I'm saying? When we pulled that tight one against the Bengals and then smacked the Broncos, like, and I remember like being out on Mission Street with my family when the parades hit, and like we're out there just like, you know, celebrating and all that stuff, and like it was just something we all did, man. But my favorite players growing up was my dad's favorite player was Roger Craig. You know what I'm saying? So like my pops had the 33 jersey on all the time, and and I really got attached to John Taylor because the first thing I remember was seeing him catch that slant, right? I was one of them guys where everybody was talking about Joe and Jerry and Ronnie.
I think we got some connection issues, bro. We might have to have you restart and come back. In the meantime, I'll just address some of the stuff in the comments. Let me just make sure. How much is this guy? Message this guy in just a second. Hey, come back on just a second. No, we had some issues earlier. That's why it took us a while to get started on the regular time. But it's all good, man. There you are. You're back. All right. Sure. You were talking about Roger Craig or something, and your favorite player was John Taylor because you saw that slant at the Super Bowl. Then he froze up like the movie Frozen by Disney. But we got you back, man.
No, I mean, like I said, that's what shaped me was just watching, and it was a family thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're all Niner fans. Like, it was just something that, we all kind of bonded with. And like I said, mostly it's civic pride, bro. Like, that's the reason why I'm a Niner fan. I mean, it ain't about the wins or the losses. It's not even really about the players, bro. I'm from Frisco. I represent anything from my city. And so, like having that bond with my friends, my family, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that has always been a part of my life since I was, yay high, right? And so that's kind of really the whole origin of it. Like I said, it really starts with me just being a San Franciscan. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's the best way to do it. I had Nick from Nothing But Niners on here, and he told me when he was born in the hospital, they had him in a 49er onesie, and his mom was a 49er fan. He was born. For me, it's a different story because I have immigrant parents from the Middle East, but it's like they had no clue what football was. We were the first generation family here, and my brother got me into being a 49er fan, and my neighborhood friends, I growing up with, were always talking about football, so eventually I grew into it, but I started off watching wrestling and cartoons, so it took me a little while. By the time I really, really got into it, we were just winning the back-to-back Super Bowls that you saw. I saw the Dolphins Super Bowl, but I wasn't yet a 49er fan. I didn't understand the game yet. But, eventually I got there. It's all good. But, hey, you're blessed, man, to be from San Francisco, have the parents who made you a Niner fan. That's awesome, man. And somebody brought up something in the chat about said, hey, Bash, ask them about how the Saints showed up how the 49ers showed up in the Saints game 2019. Man. It was lit. We owned the city of New Orleans. I assume you were at the takeover, right?
That was the greatest road game I've ever been to in my entire life. Ever.
Did you perform while you were out there? Or?
I performed for 5,000 Niner fans, man.
Oh wow, that's crazy, man.
That's the biggest crowd I've ever had. That's the most amped. Like everything about that experience was dope, bro. And even down to I was sitting in the end zone, opposite of where we were heading for the final field goal. So when they kicked the final field goal, that was on the other side of the stadium. But I'm sitting over there, and even the fans, even the Saints fans, was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been at football stadiums all across the country. Every once in a while you're gonna run into them fans that, it's not about the game no more, and it becomes something where you kind of gotta watch your back. And even the Saints, just the atmosphere was dope, where everybody was safe, everything was cool. It was about the game, there was respect. So from the top to bottom, it was just amazing. And Niner fans from everywhere, dude, everywhere. One thing I kind of do when I perform is I do a temperature check, and I try to figure out where everybody's from. And usually you'll get one group kind of I'll break it down to all my Cali Niner fans at, where my down south Niner fan. And it's kind of one side will be heavier than the other, but it was crazy because they were from everywhere. They're from everywhere. And that tailgate was nuts, man. And the Empire did a really good job of organizing that tailgate, man. Everybody involved with that was amazing. And it don't hurt to win on a game-winning field goal in a game where, Jimmy throw for 400 yards and we're scoring points. And, that was nice. But, it was just a dope experience. And then we messed around and marched down Bourbon Street after the game.
And don't forget Kittle pulling off that Mark Bavaro impersonation at the end.
Man, that play, man. That play was, that was iconic. Because, it was a fourth down play. It was crazy. It was a pretty simple route that he ran in hindsight. I don't know what they was thinking trying to single cover him like that, but for him to turn up field and blast through all them defenders like on the way up. It was nuts.
It was
man.
like a donkey just kicking those
Saints
defenders off. Like
fans
he
were
was some
sitting
angry
to
donkey.
me with their jaws dropped, like wanting to be mad, but still respecting what they're seeing on the field. Like, you know, it was crazy. It was crazy.
But that's cool that they're a respectful fan base. You didn't see much of fights or, you know, didn't hear much dirt.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't nothing like that, man. Like I said, I got nothing but love for like that's what it's about. Like people, you know, I'm gonna be 100, man. Like we love this, bro, but it's a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about the experience. You know what I'm saying? And like you can't forget that part. Like I always kind of go by this saying of your team don't pay for your medical bills, they don't pay for your bail money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like if you're going to games trying to fight and get knocked out or you get arrested, what was the point? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, right. And so it's like you got to go over there and just take it with a grain of salt. And the whole point of it is to have fun with fans. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose. And so, you know, I expect to be able to go to a game and enjoy myself, whether or not we, you know, win a close one or get blown out. I'm still trying to have a good time. And so, you know, like I said, the Saints fans, man, that was one of the best experiences ever, bro. And like, but it did help winning the way we won. I'm sure if we would have lost that game, we wouldn't be talking about it like this right now. But
my complaint about that game was that, okay, so when we took over the Dallas stadium, I've said this before in other broadcasts. Yeah, but when we took over Dallas, like they made it a point. The cameraman made it a point to show like the massive 49er fan presence of the Niner Empire in Dallas. Now, when you watch that Saints game, it's not the same thing in terms of what the camera crew was showing. Right. You didn't really notice the huge presence, but when we saw the pictures that were surfacing online and all the videos, then we're like, damn, this is crazy. We do have a 49er fan from Louisiana in the chat, Poppy Pablo. What's up, dog? Said, I rep 49ers in Louisiana all day, every day. Niners!
Much respect, man. Much respect.
We got Tommy Huxley in the chat. Jenny Talia sent me. I don't know who she is, but hey, tell her I said what's up. We got Rich Nigga. I know this guy's my boy Johannes right here. He says, wash his hands. I don't know why he's saying that. Big Niner fan over in Vegas, by the way.
Probably because of the way I was moving my hands when I was talking.
Oh, okay.
It's be all like good. That sometimes.
Hey, So to your memory, as far as I know, you have a great memory, by the way, because you're like me. I remember stuff when I was 3 and 4, and I wish I remembered Niner stuff back then, but I wasn't watching them back then. But you remember the John Taylor slant at the end of the Bengals game in overtime to win it for us in the Super Bowl, which was awesome. I had 3 years or 4 years old. So I'm going to see what's up to this dude. 49er First Take, what's up? Subscribe to this guy's channel. Repping the Niners all the way in New York. Awesome dude. Been on this channel. But to your recollection, what was your first memory of being at a game in Candlestick? And if you know who won or how the game went down, let me know.
I mean, I'll be real with you. I've been to hella games at Candlestick. Like, I mean, since I was a baby. I went to Giants games too. Like, I grew up in that stadium. But like, the first one I like really remember, like the one that sticks out. Like, I mean, I could tell you that I went to a game in like this during the 94 Super Bowl season when I was like 9, 10 years old. And, you know, we, you know, smashed whoever we was playing. But like, my favorite memory. So one time my pops and I, we were like just messing around and we ended up scoring some tickets to a game late. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just like killing time. We're like, let's go catch the Niner game. We're late already, but let's go. And so, you know, we slid over to the stick and found parking, and we had bought some tickets off some scalpers at like in like the middle of the third quarter, close to the fourth quarter. And we got in. We didn't really have like the best seats, so we were moving around. But I'll put it to you like this. We went to overtime, and the first play of overtime, Garrison Hurst takes a handoff and scoots 90 plus on the Jets, right? And like it was, bro, that
game was off the hook.
Bro, like, so like that was one of those ones. Cause like, you know, it's like we weren't really expecting much. Like we just kind of pulled up to see what would happen. Like, you know, that one stuck. And, you know, when I did my first Niner anthem, Die Hard, like when I did the video, like I wanted to make sure that like I added that part, because like to me, cool. Like that was one of the coolest things ever. And like I said, it's all about the experience. So being able to be there next to my pops, like, and share that experience with them, like, was cool. Like, but I got plenty, bro. I got plenty. I mean, like, and you know, tons. We could talk about that for hours, like all the different times. You know.
One thing I do like is you had that one song, I believe it's called "This Is Home," or is it called "Home?" Where it's a dedication to our beautiful former stadium, Candlestick Park.
Yeah,
and I love that song without a doubt.
Nah, that was dope, because that was like, That was the second one I did, and that was after Die Hard got the exposure that it got. The Niners reached out to me to do that song.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I didn't
that's
know
the
that.
reason why I even did it in the first place, was because they reached out to me and they were like, with the new season coming, it'd be cool for you to do something for the. And I was like, it's funny you're asking, because I was gonna do that anyway. So they're like, well, what do you need from us? And I was like, let me get in the stadium. And they were like, okay. So they let me have the stadium for a day. And
yeah,
so
I saw the video. It's like, damn, this guy has some pull. He's all over the stadium.
Yeah, I shot it on the field, and it's the camera. We're shooting the video. I gotta look a certain way, bro. But like, once that camera turned off, I was a little kid, man. I was running up and down the field, like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to find, like, ain't this where T.O. caught that ball against the Packers? Like, ain't this?
I had the luxury of being on the field one time.
Yeah, man. But it was crazy, like to be able to do that, and I honestly, that might be my personal favorite that I've ever done. Like, out of the 5 that I've put out, like, I think Home is still, like, and then filming that video was crazy, because a lot of people have told me they use that as their, like, it's part of their nostalgic piece to Candlestick. Because, like I said, if you're from out of town and you've been to the Stick, that's one thing, right? And that's, not every Niner fan I know has had that privilege, right? And but like, when it's literally in your backyard and you've hopped one bus and you're there, like, on a Sunday when tickets ain't that expensive compared to the way they are nowadays, like, we grew up in that. I have Candlestick, it's tatted on my arm, like we grew up in that building, like, and to be able to have have those experiences, like, is something that I cherish very deeply, like, and so that song right there kind of comprises all those feelings. And I really wanted to touch on different moments that I experienced there, that, like, and some that might have happened when I wasn't there because I was young. But like I said, my pops is a big Niner fan, and so, like, he talks to me a lot about it. And like I said, even with those 2 Super Bowls, I was 3 and 4 years old. I seen it, but a lot of that is like my pop showing me footage of it and what's talking and growing up and rewatching it and stuff like that, which is why I'm able to kind of talk about it, like, but it's something I miss. I like Levi's, but I love Candlestick.
Of course. Do you have any memories of, like, because we talked about your New Orleans game experience, but do you know what your first away game experience was, or one that at least pops in your head?
Most definitely. I mean, of course, like, when we play the Raiders and go to Oakland, like, I mean, like that's something I grew up doing all the time, and I think the Raiders get a bad reputation with that stuff, because I've been to Raider games so many times. I ain't never had anybody lay a hand on me.
Okay, I was gonna throw that question at you too. Like, what's the experience like that?
Bro. Honestly, they cool, bro. Like, honestly, they know how to party, bro. Like, it's a good time. You just have to be cool with them talking. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the hard dude walking around trying to be tough by yourself. Like, I mean, come on, be real with yourself. Like, so people are gonna talk, right? And so you just got to take it in stride. And when that happens, it's fun, right? And so, like, those are cool, but honestly, the first, like, when I went to Dallas in 2014, because that's the first time I've ever, like, gone out of state to go to a Niner game, and that's the first time I've ever performed outside of California, like, ever, like, on any level, because I do music other than Niner stuff, right? And so, but that experience was, like, so eye-opening for me, because that's where I realized, like, the Bay Area Niner fan base is only a portion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get all the shine because we're there. But honestly, I came back to the Bay looking at Niner fans like, y'all have no idea what these other fans do, what they experience, like, how much more they have to deal with than we do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was talking to Niner fans at the tailgate in Dallas, and them telling me, like, I'm the only Niner fan in my whole community. And every time I go to the grocery store, people are talking things to me and throwing things at me, or saying this, saying that, or threatening me and this and that. And I'm like, I don't even know what that's like. I can walk out the house right now and trip over 5 Niner fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, it just made me respect it more. Like, to see, like, these, not, like I said, and I've been to Dallas, I've been to AZ, I've been to Pittsburgh, I've been to Miami, Atlanta, New Orleans, Seattle, like, and met Niner fans from everywhere, and, like, they hold it down. They really do. They really do. And it's easy to do it when you're winning, but they've been doing this for years, and you could tell. It's evident, right? And then next year I'll be in Vegas next year off top. There ain't no way I'm missing.
You know what? That's a game I'm seriously thinking about going to. Is that Vegas game?
Yeah, there ain't no way.
I love going to Vegas in general and seeing my Niners out there.
Yeah, there's no way, dude. And it's crazy because I'm going out there with Raider fans, but I'm out there like. And then I think I'm doing Denver next year too. And then I'm trying to swing Atlanta again because I know
you're all over the place, man.
They're gonna do it huge for Atlanta. They always do.
We got a random question here in the chat. Okay. Well, one says, "This is Corey Davis. Says Dave, you still go to the games?" I think that's an easy yes. But here's an easy question. Here's a good question for you though. Did you ever see Huey Lewis at Candlestick? You know who that is, right? Huey Lewis in the News. That's some Bay legends right there for those young cats that don't know.
There. Yeah, you know what, bro? I've not personally. I've met Huey one time in the street, like just passing by. It's just kind of like, oh, what's up with Huey? And them kind of saying what's up. But like, I never got the pleasure to see him. The one dope thing I always tell people is, man, the last time the Beatles ever performed together was at Candlestick.
Oh, yep, that is true.
Way before time, but it's dope.
Did you ever meet Robin Williams? So Robin Williams is an old school Niner fan. Well, he passed away, RP.
Yep. Robin Williams, Danny Glover, a Niner fan. I mean, there's a bunch of people. Oh, yeah. Man. Johnny Mathis, a Niner fan too, man. Christmas time.
I didn't get to meet. I always wanted to meet Robin Williams. The closest I got was I used to work with like one of his best friends growing up, and that was about it.
His sons are my age, man. So I went to high school in the city, and his sons was like around the same time and stuff. So I used to see them around at like house parties and things like that.
That's sick.
But but as far as what dude asked about me still going to games, like the short answer is hell yeah. I'm a season ticket holder, man. I've been a season ticket holder like since 2009, the last few years of Candlestick, and then I've had access to season tickets since 2002. And so, like, I since 2002, I've been to damn near every home game. You know what I'm saying? But this year's been tough. COVID was tough. Obviously, we couldn't go to any games last year, and then this year, I just had a baby, and so like and then with COVID, like, and I work on Sundays. Man. Thank you, bro. I work on Sundays, so like it's hard to get the time off. This year it's been tough. Like, and so this year I only went to the Packers game. I don't miss home openers for nothing. So like I went to that one, but it's been hard. I'm actually not going to be able to make it to any home games the rest of this year, but I will be in LA for the Rams game on January 9th. So
yeah, well, hopefully you do get to make it to more than you expect. What I wanted to ask you was about your 49er fan experiences. Before I get into your hip hop and musical experiences, sure. And do you remember the first player you ever met, or got any cool stories in meeting players?
Yeah, man, I got a ton of those, man. You know what? The first one I ever met was Derek LaVille, and Derek LaVille, we went to the same high school. He went to Archbishop Reardon High School.
That's right, he did go to Reardon
in San Francisco, and that's where I went. I graduated from Reardon, and so I met him, through that type of stuff. And then I went to Reardon with Donald Strickland,
cornerback.
Yep. And I went to Reardon with Eric Wright. Eric Wright's a good friend of mine. Not OG Eric Wright.
Okay. Which Eric Wright are you talking about? I remember the OG Eric Wright that we had. There's also
number 30 E Wright, like who was there the last year at Candlestick. That was his final season. He got drafted by the Browns. He went to USC, UNLV, played corner, second round pick in 2007, same year that AP got drafted.
Okay.
And he went to the Browns, Lions, Bucks, and then he finished out with the Niners and then retired. He was there for the last season of Candlestick. But that's my boy. Like, we went to high school together. He's only a year behind me. And so I know those guys personally. But my favorite story, I went to, if you've ever been to Frisco, the Giants play at Oracle Park on King Street. And across the street from the park is this bar that used to be there called Pedro's. And I walked in there one night, and I had my Joe Staley jersey on. I'm a huge Joe Staley fan. Left tackle is my favorite position, right? And so I love Joe Staley, right? And so I'm wearing his jersey in the Die Hard video, like that's my dude. And I walked into the bar just to grab a quick drink, and a local radio station was doing like a contest to try to hire somebody off the street and give them a job at the radio station to be an analyst on the radio. And Joe Staley was there judging it. I didn't know he was going to be there. And so I walked in the door and I walk over to the bar and he looks at me and he looks at my jersey, and I looked at him, and we make eye contact, and he's kind of giving me this look like, you're wearing my jersey? Like, I don't really see, you know, because everybody got, at that time, everybody's wearing a Vernon Davis, or
of course,
wearing,
the skill positions.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick, and like, you know, everybody's wearing, yeah, exactly, Willis, like, and so he comes up to me and he's like, man, you wearing my jersey? He's like, you got to let me sign that. And I'm like, Joe, I can't let you sign this jersey, bro. And he's like, what? And I'm like, nah, bro, I wear this, bro. You sign this, I can't wear it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, plus I ain't even got a Sharpie. Some lady came up out of nowhere and was like, I got a Sharpie. And then I was like, what choice do I got? So we signed the jersey. And then we hung out for the next 2 hours, just talking. You know what I'm saying? And enjoying ourselves and having a good time. He's such a down-to-earth dude. And he had heard the music. He heard Die Hard and was like, I was telling everybody in the locker room that they got a guy doing a rap video and he's wearing my jersey. He's like, that's you? I'm like, that's me.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought maybe he might have recognized you first before.
Nah, bro. Man, one thing, Bashar, bro, is I got to hammer this home, bro, is I'm a Niner fan like everybody else, bro. I just happen to rap. Like, I ain't more than, like, you know, yeah, I could do this, but like, honestly, like, I would never ever put myself in a position to be like, you know, I ain't better than nobody, bro. I just do it. It's my way of, you know, being able to contribute. Some folks throw big tailgates and cook and like, right. And can feed everybody. And that's awesome. Some people run clubs and create relationships like that. And that's their role. That's what they play. This is just the position I play. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make me nothing more than a Niner fan like everybody else. It's just awesome that it gives me these opportunities to travel and meet new people and get to have these experiences, man. Like, that's the dope part about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I do it, is because, you know, it allows me to be able to like get these experiences. You know what I'm saying?
So what you talked about your Joe Staley jersey. Do you remember the first jersey that you ever bought on your own?
Yeah. Well, the first jersey I ever had was a Joe Montana jersey, right? As a kid. The first jersey I ever bought on my own was a post Super Bowl 29. So like not the dope shadow numbers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but Merton Hanks.
That chicken neck, Merton Hanks.
The Merton jersey was my first one, man. I'm almost embarrassed to say that I had a Kevin Barlow jersey, but I did have one of those.
I like Barlow, man. He was fun to watch. He had that power. He's a big, strong running back.
Yeah, I had one. But you know what? Today, I'm not really a big jersey guy. I don't really rock them anymore like that. The only one I really wear is my throwback, my young.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because his jersey's expensive. Those players jump from team to team. It's almost
exactly
better to stick with the legend than throwback.
That's exactly why, man. But yeah, my first one was a Joe, but the first one I got where I bought it with my own money at Stonestown Mall, San Francisco, was a Merton Hanks jersey, man. And I don't have it no more, but that was the first one.
I just remember I used to love watching the games when John Madden was an announcer, and he'd be on the little telestrator, and he'd be like, "Hey, look, it's Merton Hanks. He's doing the Big Bird dance." I used to live for that, dude. I
didn't realize how tall Merton was until that when we did the Die Hard video and they played it at Candlestick. They invited me and a few people to come out pregame and be on the field before the game. The infamous Colin Kaepernick Packers playoff game. And so we were on the field.
I was there.
Oh man. One of the greatest experiences.
That's my biggest memory as a Niner fan. It was the last game I went to with my brother, rest his soul. So.
Oh man, much respect, bro. And Merton was on the sidelines and I walked up and introduced myself just real quick. And I'm like, damn, you tall, bro. I didn't realize how tall you were. Like, because I'm 6'2". I'm not short. But like Merton is tall, and isn't that you know, he still looked like he could put on the pads, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that game, we went through a side entrance to this elevator. My brother had this special pass to do that as season ticket holders, and Merton Hanks actually stepped onto the elevator we were going on, or he stepped off right before we got on, and I could have rushed him really fast and tried to say what's up to him, but he was with his wife, so
right, yeah, he was with his wife.
I slowed down
too, right? Yeah, the nice.
He was he was suited up and everything.
Yeah.
And then right before I sat down in my seat, I ran into Gary Payne on the concourse, all in Niner gear, and I was like GP, and we fist bumped each other really quick. So, and that game was off the hook. The E40 performed at halftime, you know, and then we all know what Cap did and the way we had that put up all those crazy points. That was an excellent, legendary game without a doubt.
Legendary. I don't know if we'll ever see it. I mean, whether you love, hate Colin, I mean, that's up to you. But like, you can't deny that was. I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again. Like that was I mean, he was running all over the field. They had no answer for that. No answer for it. They just could, it was at will. And like that offensive line was a bunch of hogs, bro. And like,
Oh yeah, big time.
you know, and they weren't playing around, bro. And it's funny because like to this day, we still kind of own the Packers in the playoffs recently. Like, you know, like they can't seem to figure it out against us. And I was looking at the standings, and I'm looking at it like, dude, I mean, if it was a first round, if we're the 7, like if it were to be tomorrow, we'd be the 7 seed. I think Green Bay would be the 2. We play Green Bay, right? And so like, because the first seed gets a bye now, and now there's 7 teams that get in. So I'd be interested to see that matchup.
Yeah, I don't want to look too far ahead. Hopefully, we do make it into the postseason, though. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
We can't call it, dude. You know, all we can do is watch it week to week. We're just fans, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We like to step out of our shells and act like we know more than what GMs and scouts and what they do. But you got to be hopeful that if they can continue playing the way that they're playing, that the playoffs are looming, dude. You know, like it's just you got to play for it. You can't sit there and act like you can't. You know, every game is a playoff game the rest of the way. You know? So,
yeah, without a doubt, from here on out, it's pretty much a playoff game. I want to get into the hip hop questions now because obviously you're a musician. Consider yourself a musician. I'm a musician at home musician. Every now and then I perform, but just with friends or little church events or whatever. But I play keyboards. But I've always grew up. You know, I grew up listening to the '80s music. Then later that ventured off when hip hop was becoming the thing. I was watching Yo MTV Raps, and what got you into this whole hip hop thing, and what made you think that, hey, you know, maybe I could do this, or you know, how did it all start with you in music?
Well, I mean, for starters, like I was reading and talking early as a kid, right? I was really into language. Like, I mean, I was reading it too, talking, like, and all stuff,
Man.
like. And like my parents really invested a lot of time in me being able to like, you know, communicate. And I went to good schools, bro. Like I learned a lot and I studied and I learned, I just had a knack for it. I've always been a good communicator, right? And so my uncle Swamp Cat, God rest his soul, he produced Die Hard and Empire. So if you've heard those two songs,
okay, I've definitely.
My uncle produced those and he took me under his wing early. And kind of like got me into like studios recording and doing things like that, trying to be more official, professional with what I do. But I mean, really it all started in like lunchrooms and like just ciphers and like really trying to cut my teeth, you know, just sharpening skills with people, you know. And like I said, when people look at me, I'm not your prototypical rapper as far as image goes, and I don't try to be anything I'm not. I never try to be anything I'm not. Like I said, I'm a half Latino, half Caucasian kid from the Sunset District in San Francisco. Went to private school. Like that's me. But I've always loved rap, always, and I grew up like listening to Bay Area rap. Like that's my
Bay Area.
Exactly. But the thing is too, and it's no disrespect to these great artists, but like when people talk about Bay Area rap, the names they usually mention are not the guys I was actually listening to. So if you talk about 40, Too Short, and you know, Mac Dre and all, like love them, but that's not who I grew up listening to. I'm from the city. So I grew up really listening to Frisco artists. I grew up on San Quinn and Messy Marv and Coop Nut and JT and 11-5 and RBL and that's my, like, that's what I grew up listening to. And then I also listened to a lot of East Coast rap. And so like, you know, I'm really big on like Nas and The Lox and DMX. And like, that's kind of what influences me. I know a lot of people when they listen to me, they're like, you don't sound like a Bay Area rapper. You do punchlines and metaphors and you rhyme multiple syllables and you do well, that's the East Coast influence, you know. But the way I talk, the way I move, the way I act, that's that city stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like it's this fusion. And it took a while to be able to come to terms with like who I am as an artist and developing my skill set. And, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere. And like a lot of us just rap like our favorite rappers to start until you learn to be more comfortable with who you are as a person. it's kind of like growing up. You know what I'm saying? You learn everything from your parents. You're a mold of them until you get out on your own and start doing your own thing. Then you got to figure out who you are, what's your identity. And so, that's what it was. And I was battle rapping for a long time, doing that type of stuff. And then, like I said, one day I just decided, my homies actually are the ones that convinced me to do Niner music. I mean, I wasn't even going to do that.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people was, in 2011, a lot of people started doing the Niner anthems, right? So you got Bailey who did, who's got it better. Right. I mean, like before that, really, and I got to shout out my guy Cuddy Cut. Cuddy Cut did I'm a Niner.
You know that I'm a Niner?
In 2005, right? So Cuddy Cut was the first guy to do a Niner anthem that wasn't already a Niner. I don't know if you remember the We're the 49ers song that the Niner team
I was going to mention that song earlier. That's probably the first Niner song.
One, right?
Yeah, Cuddy, we are the 49ers. Yeah.
Cuddy from the Mission, and he's the first one to do it, straight up. I
ran into him at a tailgate back at Candlestick once. Cool dude, man.
First one, period. Like that's not an argument. That's the first one. And then after Cuddy, you got Jose Santana, who was doing it and still consistent. It's still consistent.
Oh, Jose Santana's always doing some type of.
It's still consistent. Like you cannot argue that man's consistency, right? Because it's been, the one thing you got to tip your cap to him for is we wasn't like we was losing during that period. You know what I'm saying?
Singletary era.
Yeah, and so he was able to do that, and so and as much as I want to like give those guys props, I can't also. I mean, like I wasn't like influenced by them, but I seen them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I respect what they do. But it wasn't until like Bailey did Who's Got It Better Than Us, and then a bunch of other people started doing anthems, right? And they were like coming from everywhere, and like it seemed like it was kind of like the hot thing to do at one point because we was winning. We was in a drought for like 10 years, and now all of a sudden the team is picking up with Harbaugh, and now every rapper want to do, outside, like I said, outside of Cuddy and Jose, now all of a sudden all these rappers want to be Niner rappers. You know what I'm saying? And, my boys was like, they wasn't feeling like I used to tailgate at Candlestick at Pole E, right? So I'm a Pole E tailgater, right? And we're a community, like, there's a lot of us, right? So shout out Pole E. They would come up to me and be like, Dave, you got to do one, bro. Like you got to do one. And I was like, everybody doing one. I don't want to do one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of cool. But they were like, bro, you need to do one because we're not feeling none of these. And I was like, all right. And so I literally wrote Die Hard in my bedroom one day. And I only did that song to play at our tailgates because they just wanted to hear something. You know what I'm saying? That's where I saw that song going. I did not write that song thinking it was going to be what it ended up being, 100%. But YouTube and social media are something else. Because as soon as we shot that video and we put that thing out, it just did what it did. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden people are hitting me up and they want to like, they want more. And so I was like, all right, let's give them more. But I didn't put it to you like this. When I wrote that, I just certainly didn't think 10 years later I'd be sitting here with you having this conversation.
Hey, you never know what happens in the future.
Right.
I didn't think I had you on either. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, you mentioned Germany earlier. They was talking about me shooting out to Germany and doing one of these shows.
Oh yeah, man. If you guys haven't had a chance, check out 40. His song is called. Is it called 49er Empire or 49er Germany? Is that what you call it?
49er Germany. Yeah, they asked me for it. They wanted me to do one for them, so I did one for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many Central Americans have been to Germany, but like I'm looking like I was going to be one of the first. Like I was, man. But it's been fun. But that's the one thing I told myself, like the day that this ain't fun, I'm not going to do it no more. And the other thing I kind of told myself was because people ask me for one every year. People are like, "Yo, we want a new Niner anthem. And I can't just do it because I need to. I'm not worried about relevance. I've never been worried about that. Like I'm okay with tomorrow. Everybody's like, we're done. We'll move on to the next thing. I'm cool with that. I've been cool with that. But all I know is whenever I get the inspiration to do something, I'm going to put 149% into it. And I'm going to make sure it's quality every time I drop something. So in this 10-year span, I've only done 5 songs that are mine. I've been featured on other people's stuff. But like my songs, I've only done 5, but I make sure that every time I do it, you're like, damn, he blew it out the water. Like he really did that. And it's hard because you try to make them different, right? Because it's like I'm still rapping about football like every time. Like it's hard to kind of do this, to do something different every time. But if you look, like Die Hard is not like Home, it's not like Empire, it's not like Niner Out, it's not like Still Faithful. Still Faithful is dope because every Niner song before that is always about how dope we are or how cool it is to be a Niner fan. But Still Faithful is like, bro, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about all those moments you don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like if you break down that verse, like there's gonna be moments where I'm gonna make you shake your head and be like, "Oh, bro, I remember that. That sucked."
Yep, we sat through plenty of bad, man. As real Niner fans,
man. But that's the thing. It's like you can't appreciate all those W's without understanding the pain that came with all those like terrible games. Like I remember we played the Bears in the snow and Cap was playing, and what do you have, like 5 yards passing? It was like one of those like horrible, like where you're just like staring into your hand, like just, oh my God. Like, but see, for every one of those, you know what I'm saying? When Vernon catch that post and you've been through all that dirt, you've been through all those terrible times, to know that like when it happens and it actually, and I know we ain't had a Super Bowl in a while, and I know a lot of young fans that don't know what it's like to see their team hoist the trophy in the air, but like, if it comes, it comes, and every year we're going to still be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when it comes, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be lit. It's certainly going to be worth it. We was almost there twice, but like, you got to sit there and you got to sit there and look at the situation. Like, look at the people next. I mean, I went to both them L's, Baltimore and Kansas City. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and it was the same people that was with me at preseason game 1. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, we went through this year together. Like all those ups, all those downs, all those moments. Like that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I got a son now, man. I'm like, and my whole thing is I get to be that for him. I get to show him this. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife, she's an East Bay. She's an East Bay. That she's from the East Bay, and so we had to split. And I'm like, you get baseball with him, but I get football. You know what I'm saying? So he could be an A's fan just like you. But I'm raising him a Niner. Like, and if he decides he doesn't want to be, that's up to him. But so I get to have that experience with him and teach him what football is like, and show him how to root for the team the right way, and how to be a fan, and how to be committed to it, and all that stuff. And I'm really looking forward to that because he's real young right now. But like that's coming around the corner. So I can't wait to bring him to his first game, all that stuff, like and all that. But it's gonna be a while. I ain't probably gonna bring him to a game for a minute.
I'm going to say what's up to a few new people that just hopped in. I got some more questions for you, without a doubt. No we got Niner Sickness, great YouTuber. Check out his YouTube channel if you're not subscribed to him. He says, hey, Tommy, happy holidays, my friend. Tommy Huxley in the chat, of course, as always. We got Danny Golding, says, my ambition as a Niner.
That's the Jose Santana shout out, yep.
My boy Kenny says, hit that like button, faithful. Thank you. Appreciate it. We got I got more fish tanks than you. This is a newcomer. I don't know who this is, but what's up? It says, let's get this W tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's get this win tomorrow. We need it bad. It's almost like a playoff game for us. David Manu says, tackle the like button, and pretty much got all the comments covered. What I want to know is, what was the first rap song that you had memorized? Does that come to mind?
Nothing But a G Thing.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's the first one that I memorized front to back. Like where I knew it, like it wasn't what they always say, if someone put a gun to your head and you had to recite all the lyrics from one song.
I never heard of that before. That's funny.
Oh man, I see it on social media, but trust me, I'm good. Like I'm ready for that one. Definitely that one for sure.
Like for me, since I play keyboards and stuff, like I've been great at knowing melodies, but I could sing backup for whatever, or I could do karaoke, but the words are in front of me. But my hardest thing as being a pseudo musician was just memorizing lyrics. But my first rap song I probably did memorize from beginning to end was Humpty Hump, the Humpty Dance. R.I.P. Shock G.
R.I.P. Shock G, man. For real, man. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then see, that's that Bay Area right there. Like we grew up on that.
Yep. And they gave Tupac his start and everything. Unless Digital Underground, they were excellent, man. They're awesome.
Hey, Money B did a Nana anthem.
He did, yeah. Money B did one. Yep.
Yeah, Money B is a Nana fan. He's cool.
So who are your top 5 rappers? You got a list? You got a top 5 or?
I do have a top 5, man. Everybody does, and like everybody got their 5, bro. Like, and it could change at times, but like so my top 5, it's weird, but it is what it is. Honorable mention is San Quinn and Mesty Mar because I'm from Frisco. And
San Quinn is so underrated. I wish he would hit it big on a national level because to me, he just has that voice like that.
Right.
For me, like when I watch a comedian, because I used to be a stand-up comedian as well, but when I hear that comedian, like that voice kind of gets me, or that rapper, that voice gets me. And San Quinn, to me, always had that voice, and I don't know why he didn't hit it big like those other guys did, man.
Right, yeah. And like Quinn did a Niner anthem too. Like, but what's it called? They're always going to be honorable mention. I can't do a top 5 without mentioning those 2 guys because they were my favorites growing up, straight up. But 5 is new. I mean, there's 2 new guys, and then there's 3 guys that I'm like, I grew up on. So number 5, I go with J. Cole. I just love everything about dude. I love how
I've seen him live in Vegas. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I just love how he's like he's proud to be educated and like takes that step. Like I rock with that, and he's dope. Makes all his own beats too, which is sick. Number 4 is this dude named RJ Payne. He's from Philly, and he's under the I don't know if you're familiar with like Benny the Butcher and like Griselda. These new guys, they're from Buffalo.
I'm not good with the new ones, but I heard the name Benny the Butcher. I just don't know his music.
So Benny signed RJ Payne, and so like he's a bully rapper, just like metaphors, punchlines, just disgusting, it's clever, like just the way he does things. So that's my 5 and my 4. 3 is Jadakiss. I love Jada. He is the epitome of consistency. Like just he's literally the last 20 years. The way he does things, I love him. Huge influence on how I rap because I grew up listening to him. And, when I rap, I put a little bit of rasp in my voice. But that's because of Jada. So let me just keep it 100 with that. 2 is Black Thought from the Roots. Black Thought is godlike on a microphone. I don't know how he does what he does. It's crazy. And dude is so just like musically sound and just his flow is nuts. And he's just dope, dude. So Black Thought's number 2. And, I'm from California, bro. Number 1's Pac and always will be. And that's one when people try to convince me about number 1, I like turn it off. Like, that's it. Pac's number 1. You can't tell me any different. That's that. So Pac, Black Thought, Jadakiss, RJ Payne, J. Cole. That's my 5.
Okay, so I just want to shout out people in the chat. That's great to hear, by the way, because that's a very unique 5. I love it when I hear, see diversity in terms of people and their hip hop knowledge and who they admire and who they're listening to. Because my top 5 is very different from everybody else's. So we're going to be talking about the game pretty soon. I'm going to hit them up with one more random question. And if you guys have any game questions or whatever, just pop them up in the chat. I can't read all of them, but I will read some of them, the ones that stick out the most. So feel free to drop those in the comments. And I'm going to hit you with the curveball. So, hey, if somebody tells you, hey, let's go get some pizza, are you going to go hit up Zachary's and get the Chicago deep dish style pizza? Or are you going to try to get yourself a nice thin New York slice? So do you have a preference?
Yeah, man, I'm not going to Oakland for pizza. I'm going to Frisco for pizza. All right. And what I'm doing is
where you going? There's
2 spots, man. I'm going to flip a coin. If it lands on tails, I'm going to Signore's on 19th and Terraville. And I'm getting me a slice there. If it lands on heads, I'm going to Golden Boy Pizza in North Beach.
I have heard of Golden Boys. Never had it, but I've heard of it.
Square slices, man. Those are my 2 spots, man. Parking sucks over there, so it's hard to get over there.
You gotta walk a distance in North Beach.
But I'm from the Sunset, so Signore's got to get mentioned for sure. But
okay.
It used to be Bravo's in the Mission, bro. But they changed ownership. My boy Pete isn't there no more, and so that would have been number 1, bro. If you would have asked me that like 5 years ago.
And shout out to the Mission for the most bomb taquerias out there. Best burritos, best quesadillas you ever have in your life, in my opinion, at least.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely, man. We got it good.
I think I missed this dude right here, Clown Man. This guy's awesome. Has a YouTube channel. He had an excellent Trey Lance draft reaction video. If you guys did not check it out, check it out. That shit had me rolling. I don't even cuss on here, and I just cuss because that video was so off the hook. Oh, we got my boy right here, Jesse Naylor, all the way in Florida, man. I didn't think you would be awake. I know this guy's one of the best YouTube 49er content creators out there. Highly underrated, extremely knowledgeable. Had him on my show before, Jesse Naylor from Last Second Sports. And he's always killing it on Twitter and on YouTube. Just definitely check him out, man, without a doubt. Yeah, so we got a game coming up, man. Anything like as far as this season that sticks out to you or stands out to you, or anything in this upcoming game that you want to see, or just hit me up with anything that's on your mind in regards to the Niners.
I feel like this season, if you like, I feel like week to week, you're going to get a different type of response. Like, you know, because it's hard to, with a lot of expectations in this season coming off what we experienced last year. And like with the injuries that piled up last year, and then we started getting them early this year again. And, you know, we jumped out to 2 W's against one team that's terrible. And then another team that's fighting, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you lose 3 in a row, all by 1 score, like, you know, and then jumping into the bye, you think, okay, we're going to smack Indy, and they give it to us.
That was a heartbreaker,
you know. And then, you know, you play a weak Chicago team, and you do what you're supposed to do, and then Arizona gives us the worst loss we've had, and that was unexpected because we think we're playing their backups and it's going to be a gimme, and it wasn't. And then you impress on national television and school the Rams. I mean, you know, division games go anyway. And then you do what you're supposed to do against Jacksonville, right? So, and here we are now, and
we're at a crossroads, huh?
Yeah, well, we're 5
versus 5,
and they are too. And we're looking for what, 5-2 the rest of the way to get double-digit wins and hopefully lock in a playoff spot. I mean, the looks of it, of us hosting a playoff game, don't look so good at this point. But you know, all you got to do is get in there and see what happens, right? But like, this is the biggest game of the year. I keep hearing from like season ticket holders like around the way that are like, this game's huge. And I personally think after watching what Green Bay lit up Minnesota. They lost to Minnesota, but right. Yeah, Minnesota won at the end, right? And so, you know, I think we can win this game. I mean, I don't see why we are like going to walk into this thinking it's just going to be an L. That don't make no sense. But that receiving core they have is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Kirk Cousins has been playing better. And I think he's, thrown for 300 yards the last 3 weeks. And then you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Like, that's nothing to laugh at. But their defense can get susceptible to get torn up. And so I'm like, well, this is our opportunity for – I always feel like this. I'm not a huge Jimmy G fan. He's our quarterback.
I got you.
But I will say this. When Jimmy plays well, we win. And that's not like an endorsement for him per se, but like, because I'm not going to sit here and try to convince people that Jimmy's the answer or any of that. I don't really know, bro. I'm just a fan, dude. I don't get to pick the personnel. What I do know is that when Jimmy plays well, we win games. And with this season, when Jimmy doesn't turn the ball over, we win games. Like when he's not turning the ball over, it's a W. I think literally like when he doesn't have a turnover, it's a W. And so I think if we go out there and are able to not turn the ball over at home with a loud crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like that's invested in the game. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, we need to make up for our home losses, especially with our crowd. You know, we got to have our home field advantage ready, especially because you mentioned Cousins. And what's scary about Cousins is 21 touchdowns thrown and only 2 interceptions.
He's not making.
And our secondary issues that we've had, it's like I'm not a big Mosley fan. I'll be honest with you. I love our team in general, but I'm just saying when I see players out there underperforming from time to time,
right?
You know, Mosley and Norman, our pass rush really has to step up. We got Bosa out there, who's been an animal all year, but then again, he gets held all the time. Is the referee going to throw the flag? Who else is going to step up on the other side of the pass rush? Now, lately, we've been throwing in Arden Key as an inside pass rusher. He's more of an outside guy, but we've been throwing him on the inside, and he's had some success. Right. We just picked up Charles Omenihu, so who steps up? We need that pass rush to step up bad because Cousins this season, it has been pretty lit. Even though his record may not dictate that, you cannot take it for granted. Let me say what's up to Panama Queen really quick. Good. Excellent 49er supporter online. She's all over the place, all over 49er social media. You always got to say what's up to the Queen.
Central America. What's up?
Yeah. There you go. She's all the way in Philly, but she's like, no, my bad. She's in Jersey, but near the Philly border. She's about 10 minutes from Philly.
Shout out.
Repping hard out there. Just like those Niner fans that you mentioned that just rep like crazy from all over the place, and us Bay Area guys are a bit spoiled, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, man, this game is going to be something. From what I hear is that Minnesota Vikings do not stop the run fairly well
so there you go.
This year. So, you know, I heard it from a Vikings fan that he's a bit worried that they're not great at stopping the run, and he saw what we did in the playoff game against them, but he's saying this year their run defense is might be even worse. He was saying, so we got to take advantage of that. I don't even know if Elijah Mitchell is even playing. We love what he's done.
I think he's doubtful, man. I think the last time I checked, he was doubtful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're gonna keep putting Debo in the backfield and seeing what he do,
I love seeing Debo out there being productive doing it. I just don't want him to do it too much because he's our excellent number one wide receiver, you know. So I just don't want to see too much of it now. I want to see Ayuk more involved. I'm glad Ayuk is finally getting more involved.
Yep.
Earlier this season, you mentioned those losses. Like, where was Ayuk? And we could
killed 3 touchdowns in his first 3 games back from injury.
Yep. We're finally using him in the red zone, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
they have the opportunity, man. And I'm looking at the schedule. I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, but it's like, okay, if you guys play well, the playoffs are there. I mean, that's it. If you play well, the playoffs are there. We got 4 road games and 3 home games the rest of the way. Like, you know, I mean, like I said, I don't want to tell people be faithful because it's like that doesn't make us win games. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got to go out there and play.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I hear that a lot on social media is like, even when we're trash, just stay faithful. Like,
I know.
Yeah. We're fans. We're gonna be fans whether or not. But faithful doesn't win games. Like the players got to go out there and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's your next song, Faithful Part 2, and then you start dictating that.
I'm telling you, man. Some folks really think being faithful equals winning games. That's not how this works. It's like being a fan doesn't equate to W's and L's. Like you're a fan because you're a fan. Like that's that. And so, like, these guys have to go out there and do their job. Like, and it's okay to be critical of your team. Like, that's the other thing I can't stand with Niner fans on social media is this, like, you're not allowed to say anything critical. Like, man, I've invested money in this team. I'm a season ticket holder.
I feel we pay their salaries, right? Exactly. Hey, really quick, Last Second Sports, Jesse Naylor. You typed in the chat. I'm not sure if you're still here, but you typed 140 yards per game on the road is what they give up. I'm assuming you're talking about their run defense. I don't think that's for total defensive yards. But if that's for run defense, that's excellent because then we can pile up the rushing yards. Now, Jeff Wilson Jr., he's got to step up. If Elijah Mitchell's not going to be there, Trey Sermon's got to step up. I've been calling for Sermon to be out there for God knows how long. He finally got out there. But him and Jeff Wilson Jr. sort of struggled last week, you know, but Sermon did look pretty good in that.
Team in rushing yards.
Exactly. Debo led the team run. What I did like is this, though. We committed to the run. We're built to run the ball. We're a run-first team. But yet, in some of our losses, Shanahan gets the blame for this and the criticism for this because we went away from our bread and butter. And lo and behold, we're like, oh, well, we lost the game. Yeah, of course. We're not doing what we're good at. We got, what's up to this guy right here? Good buddy of mine from the Candlestick days. One of the first 49er YouTubers out there, by the way, Osmosis. I believe he's over in the Minnesota area, if I'm not mistaken. He says, is Mitchell not playing? From what we hear, he's doubtful. That's been brought up. Yeah. And Kenny's right. Debo is a straight-up universal weapon, but I'm just a little worried about us running him too much. So I don't, we got our running backs.
I used to worry about, like, did we take that draft day, I worried, did we take the wrong, because we passed on DK. And, like, after watching what he's done the last couple seasons, it's like, I wondered. And now I don't have any more questions. He's so much more versatile. I'm not saying he's a better receiver than DK Metcalf, but I am saying he's more versatile. And you can
he fits us. I think he fits us better.
It was a good match, man. Like, I see what they did. That's why I'm like, one thing I always tell myself, man, I am not a GM. I watch the draft and I'm like, all right, cool. Because it's like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't study these guys like that. Like, not the way these guys that are getting paid to do it, you know what I'm saying, with all the experience and whatnot. And so players got to go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, some guys can be trash on one team, end up in another spot and ball out. We've seen it 100 times. So, like, we'll see how things go, man. You just got to be a fan and kick back and see how things rock,
Without a doubt. It's funny because I know some Niner fans out there who will talk about draft picks that were made like 5 or 6 years ago and they're crying their tears out that we should have got this guy. We should have got that guy. Look, if it was that easy, they could pick up any bum off the street and make him NFL GM. I'm sorry, but it does not work out that way. What's up, Clown Man? Clown Man says, Dave C, hey man, appreciate what you do and your time that you put into what you do for the faithful out here.
Man, thank
much love.
That means a lot, man. That means a lot, dude. And that's the one thing that never gets old is having people tell me that they appreciate what I'm doing, like, and the reason why I'm doing it is for us. Like, whenever they highlight that, like, it's really it's humbling, but it's very satisfying to know that, like, people understand why I do what I do, because it's like like if my music can help bring us, if my music can help bring a couple of people together and like have something to connect, and they can develop life experience off of that, like that's more than I ever thought I could accomplish with this, man. And so it's like, it's always like satisfying and humbling to know that people appreciate, because it's not, I mean, you know, like it's not like this stuff comes easy. Sometimes this stuff takes a long time. It's a lot of work, you know, and like I have fun doing it, but like it's not an easy thing. So when anytime you work your ass off to do something and people pat you on the back and say, man, that was dope, good job, you know, that's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. So thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
So has a couple ever came up to you and said, "Oh, because of you, we had our first kid together," or something? Or
Nah, but like I had I've been, so like I said, I you know, I don't rap full time. You know what I'm saying? I work in mental health. I work with kids, and I know one time I was like at a mall in the Bay Area, and I was with my clients, kids I work with, and we were walking through the mall. And like out of nowhere, this couple walks up to us and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Heat," and this and that. And, you know, we get a picture and an autograph and this and that. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And these kids is looking at me like, "Who are you? I thought you're just Dave." Like, and I'm like, "I am. This isn't something that happens to me every day. I promise you that." But it's cool. Like, you know, I mean, I can't lie. You know, it's cool. When people approach you respectfully and come up to you and say what's up, like it's always dope, you know. And it's not always like that. Like I said, when like drunk people come up to me at games and they're doing too much, I'm like, I need to kind of take a step back. I don't really mess with that.
I got you.
But like,
and when I met you, you were one of the coolest, most chillest people I've ever met.
I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I mean, my mom raised me to be humble, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you take everything with a grain, like, and that's that. Like, you know, everything's a blessing. And so,
and just like Kendrick Lamar said, sit down, be humble.
Right? Yeah. Like, even like I said, when I've met some players that are like complete jerks, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't ask for photos or autographs and none of that. All I ever do is say what's up to them the way I would introduce myself to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing different. And then some players are just like some of the best people you've ever, like I told you about Joe Staley, man. Joe, I can't say nothing negative about Joe, you know? And there's several other players who I've met. Roger's awesome. Like, you know, John Taylor is a great dude. You know, Brian Young's a great dude. Like, you know, there's Colin's a great dude. Like, when I met Colin, man, he was real cool. Frank's a great dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, and these are superstars, and like kids grow up idolizing these guys, but like they're human beings. Like, don't ever forget that. These are human beings just like you. So they should be giving you the same respect you give them when you introduce yourself, when you meet them. Like, that's how it should be, you know. But you also got to come to them with respect, though. If you out of pocket, you deserve whatever disrespect you get back.
Without that, I'll say this: one of the most coolest, chillest former Niners that I ever met, God rest his soul, was Dwight Clark.
Man, Dwight, no doubt, bro. He watched me perform when the Cowboys came to Levi's. Was that 2018?
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
2016, 2018. I can't remember which year it was. The last time the Cowboys that came to Levi's, like the first time the Cowboys came to Levi's, we were out there in Blue Lot 1, and Dwight sat there and watched me perform. And I kept looking over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, Dwight Clark's watching me rap. Like,
yeah, I better not stumble.
Yeah, like I got to make sure I do this right. He actually signed my final ticket at Candlestick, man.
Oh, that's sick, man.
You know, back when they used to give
my cousin
tickets.
My cousin used to have season tickets right next to him at Candlestick for last few years at Candlestick, and I was asking my cousin. This is before I met Dwight Clark, and I was like, was Dwight Clark cool to sit next to? And he was like, "Yeah, man, I shared my nachos with him." And I told that story to Dwight Clark, and Dwight Clark cracked up, man. So I got that memory.
He pulled up on us in a golf cart at Candlestick at Pole E, and it jumped out and was cracking crab legs with us. Like a regular guy.
Yeah, he's so down to earth, man.
Yeah, man. God rest his soul, man. He was a good dude, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I knew him.
But I did. Yeah.
I met him a couple of times, and like the few times I met him, like he was always real nice and respectful, and just a good dude, man. You know, and it's crazy. But like, I mean, yeah, my dad will talk about Dwight Clark for forever, man. That's his era. Like, I didn't really get to watch Dwight like that, you know.
I wish I saw the catch when it happened. I didn't. One of my boys was at the game, Ken Jones. Diehard 49er fans for life says, "Oh my God, hi Dave Canal, you're awesome."
Man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for real.
Says more music, brother. Keep it going.
See, yeah,
we appreciate all the positive comments, man. Well, we already hit the hour mark. I told this dude I'm only going on for an hour. I don't know if he wants to be on here forever. He's got his family to go back to. But if anybody has any final questions, just drop them in the chat.
Like I said, I can do another few minutes, man. People got questions or anything they want to know. Like I said, just shoot them at me, and I'll see what I can do. But like I said, really excited for tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Excited for the rest of the season. Like I said, I'm gonna be in LA for that Rams game. So if anybody going out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, haven't locked down any performances yet. I've not performed since New Orleans.
Wow. Okay.
2019 because COVID kept me from being able to go out and do any shows. So this will be my first one in a while if I can get something locked in.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna perform in LA?
A couple people hit me up. And that's what happens sometimes. Is a lot of people will I'll get a bunch of inquiries about doing a tailgate, but it's like 6 tailgates. And I'm like, I can't do 6. Like, I got to kind of narrow it down and figure it out. So.
Oh, okay. Lighter sickness. You pulled the slick one. He said, yo, Bashar, ask Dave Canal if he would like to be part of my show. He seems like an awesome dude.
Man, shoot me an email, man.
Hey, just hit him up, bro. Just hit him up.
Yeah, you can get at me, like I said, Dave Canal SF at Gmail, or if y'all are on social media, Instagram is primarily what I use. At Dave Canal SF, and just hit me up.
And the video description of this video, I put all his links in there so you guys can all hit him up. He said, make a song making fun of the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys.
I'm going to tell you like this, Die Hard, I'm going to tell you like this. People have asked me to do like diss songs, and like I remember way back, I'd actually did one for the Seahawks with 94.9, which is a local radio station here in the Bay Area. That didn't turn out too well when they beat us in the NFC Championship game. But I tend not to I don't want to target an entire song against because for me, then I'm giving them all my energy, all my embodiment. But I'll sneak a line in a couple of songs, and toss
I think it's better to do that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's the only team I don't like, man. Like in the NFL, like I don't really waste a lot of time hating teams. But if there's one team I dislike, it's definitely them. And so, although I do got a lot of homies that are Cowboy fans, I just like to kind of mess with them a lot.
Yeah. If I were gonna make a song and do a diss track, it'd be against the Raiders. I do stab at them a little bit on my Twitter from time to time, but but I don't know if I'd go all out and do. I don't know if you noticed this, but it's my voice on the opening intro song, a little 49er mind. I'm not really rapping. I'm more of like a hype man, kind of like I want to be DJ Khaled or whatever. But at the very end, I threw in a little part where it sounded like I was about to rap, but then the song ends. Okay, so Kenny says, I would invite friends over to watch the game and play Empire and piss off opposing fans.
I love it, bro. I love how fans have hit me up and been like, look, I'm in I got what was one dude? Someone from Corpus Christi, Texas hit me up and was like, oh, I work in a warehouse with all Cowboy fans, and they'll give me the aux cord and I'll just blast Empire on them. You know what I'm saying? Let them all hear it. And they have to listen to it or whatever. And it's like, your fan base ain't making music like this. And I'm like, that's dope, man. I like that. Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, let's see this. So, questions. There's still a bunch of Raider fans out there since they moved. He's asking about the Bay Area in general.
Yeah, I got you. So, like I said, I'm from Frisco, but I live in the East Bay, right? So I live right near Hayward, California, which is literally Hayward is the black hole.
A lot of Raider fans there.
People talk about Oakland, whatever, but Hayward, California is the black hole. That's Raider Nation right there. And they still exist. I know a lot of Oakland diehard East Bay folks that oh, you left Oakland twice, we're done with you. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that, but a lot of them are still sticking with them because, like I said, man, I started off the show saying there's not a lot of solid fan bases in the NFL, man, that have an identity. And you can hate the Raiders all you want, but you can't deny that there's an identity to that fan base. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can't deny us. And so, they still rock with it. And, all they know is losing. So it's and they're still fans. I have to.
You got to respect them for that. You got to
respect them for that. Like I said, I'm 37 years old. I was born in 84. Everybody my age, if you're a Raider fan, you've never felt confetti fall on you. You don't know what that feels like. You ain't never been to a parade. You've never done that. And yet you still rock. I got homies that are season ticket holders for the new stadium and they live down the street from me. Yeah. So they travel, they fly to games to go to home games. That's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? But on the same flip of that token, I got homies that live in the Bronx that have season tickets at Levi's, and they go to more games than me.
Yeah, that's great. And then I mentioned those 49er Germany fans that you did, the 49er Empire based in Germany.
Yep.
They go to more. I mean, that season, the 2019 season, I think they went to about 6 or 7 games. Which is
Mike
lit.
Beckman and crew, like I said, those guys are awesome, dude. Like they really bout it, man. They really bout it. It's I said us Bay Area fans can learn a thing or two from them.
Oh yeah, and J.R. Meadows, a new subscriber in the chat, reminded me because before we get going, I want to talk. We got into a little bit about the game, but let's throw in some little predictions. He says 49ers 33, Minnesota 19. I say 26-20. David McNew in the chat says 49ers 27, Vikings 24. Hopefully I'm wrong. We blow them out. My prediction is 26-20. What is your prediction?
So every time I make a prediction, I'm wrong. So, and I never get the scores right. I'm just keeping it real. So, like, I don't usually do this very often. I will say this. I do think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I do. When I look at those offenses on both sides and the way the defenses have been performing, I think it's going to be like if you're a betting man and it comes, I don't know what the line is, but I mean, over sounds kind of like the move. But if I had to throw a number out there, I put it to you like this. I think the Niners win by 2 scores max. Like, I think it's going to be a 10-point victory, something like that. I can't throw out numbers. I guess why not, man? Let's go 34-24 Niners.
Let's go. Okay, so first of all, huge shout out to everybody in the chat. I can't read every single comment out there, but I try my best to read what's good in there. So you guys are all awesome. I threw this show up at the last minute, sort of. I've been gone for a long, long time. My mom wasn't feeling too well. She had some issues, had to go to the hospital, but she's back up and running and like normal. So thank God for that. And now I have the time to get back on here and do the Snyder stuff. And I'm so happy that Dave Canal, SF Bay Area rapper, huge rapper, representative of the 49er Empire, was here to make it. Any final thoughts before we get the show on the road?
Man, just stay faithful, man. Stay faithful. And, you know, like I said, don't forget, I mean, we love this, but it's a game. So make sure your priorities are in line, y'all. Like I always tell people, man, family first, Niners next. Like, you know, and then just enjoy this, man. Just enjoy this. Win or lose, make sure you're enjoying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, losing sucks, but there's still another day to live, man. Like, don't take it to the neck like that. But this season should be fun, man. We got 7 more games to go. You know, I hope it's more. And like I said, man, be faithful. Enjoy it. Be loud if you're at the games. You know what I'm saying? Be loud.
Being loud is very important. And that about wraps it up for 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, David. And keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.